Hello, my name is Timo Wamskans and I'm a research associate at the University of St. Gallen. Today I will present you my research and my PhD thesis about the design of adaptive argumentation learning systems based on artificial intelligence. If you're interested in my research, please scan the barcode or visit my website below. What we see in discussions with students or other scientists is that not only facts are the key ingredient to persuade the opponent, but rather the way how you organize the factual knowledge in the lines of argumentation. This becomes beware by the fact that knowledge is not anymore stored in large books like these ones, but is rather constantly accessible by smart devices by everywhere and every time. This leads to the fact that skills such as argumentation become more important for the future education. This is also depicted in the OECD Learning Framework 2030, where metacognition skills such as argumentation are one of the 3 pillars for the 21st century learner. However, to teach argumentation and train your skills, usual one-to-one pedagogical scenarios are necessary, where students apply a certain skill and receive adaptive feedback and tutoring from the lecturer. However, this one-to-one relationship between student and lecturer is hardly possible, since in public universities we have large-scale university lectures or due to the rising field of massive open online courses. My research is about how to use technology based on recent advances in artificial intelligence to improve these traditional learning scenarios based on adaptive learning tools, so that students can learn independent of an instructor, time and location, and lecturer can focus on the more important task. Therefore, I aim to design adaptive argumentation learning systems based on the recent advantages of artificial intelligence, where argumentation mining, a field from natural language processing and machine learning, has been a proven technology to mine argumentation and argumentation level of text. In order to design these adaptive learning tools, I aim to answer 3 research questions. First, I aim to investigate what are the requirements for adaptive learning tools to teach students how to argue. Second, I aim to answer how can an adaptive learning tool based on artificial intelligence be designed to support the developments of students' argumentation skills. And third, I aim to investigate what is the effect of argumentation learning tools on students' argumentation skills. In order to answer this question, I aim to follow a design science research approach according to Hefner 2007, where I aim to investigate the requirements based on theory and user interviews. Moreover, I aim to develop and design the adaptive argumentation learning tools based on recent advantages of natural language processing and machine learning and test them in low fidelity prototypes. Last, I aim to investigate what are the effects and the perception of students of these adaptive learning tools. The backbone of the adaptivity of the argumentation learning tools is argumentation mining. In order to train an argumentation mining model, we need annotated corpora based on student-written text. Since no corpora were available for this task, the first step was to annotate a new corpora based on student-generated peer reviews in German, which are annotated for the argumentative components and the argumentative relations. Based on this corpora, I was able to train different models, which now detects the argumentation level of the student texts. The corpora are embedded in 2 different learning tools. First, an adaptive argumentation writing support tool called L, where students receive adaptive argumentation feedback based on their text. And second, a pedagogical conversation agent called ArguTutor, which tutors students with theory, input, task explanation, and adaptive feedback. For my third research question, I evaluated the tools in different settings. I could evaluate the influence of the argumentation learning tools on the short-term argumentation skills in the laboratory experiments. Here, the results for L show that students who use L write text with significantly better formal quality of argumentation compared to a reference discussion scripting approach. For my future research, I aim to evaluate 2 tools and their effect on the influence on long-term argumentation skills. Overall, I expect to contribute to the understanding of teaching metacognition skills in large or distance learning scenarios and enrich the literature by user-centered design principles for the design of adaptive argumentation learning tools. Overall, I aim to contribute to the OECD Learning Framework 2030 for a more metacognition skill-based education. If you're interested in my research, don't hesitate to contact me for any further collaboration. Thank you very much for your time.